Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't know. Oh, okay, we're good. I was like, maybe it's me, man. No, it's definitely somebody's in a lot of trouble. Okay. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Let me go back and host. Actually, Shiz, you should be able to do that. Can you do /host, me? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. We're doing a Realm Royale channel on my channel. Okay, this is a little wild. It's starting off hot. Starting off real hot. I missed you too. Oh my god, I missed so many of you guys. Oh, we're gonna have a fireside chat, everybody. We're gonna get real personal. We're gonna talk. You guys can see my new place. It's a first for many things today, chat. First of all, how do we sound? How do I sound? Shiz, you want to give us a little sound off, a little mic check?
Best. How do you hear me?
Good? That was a loud tap. Pop, how are you doing, man?
Testing.
And we got the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Feisty. Feisty, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing well.
Good. Guys, yeah, this got a little bit awkward real fast. I went to go live on the Realm Royale channel, and turns out the Steam key didn't work. And Avrin, I love Avrin. She's great. She's fantastic. She's amazing. But I 100% blame her. So none of this is on me. It's good to see you guys. It's we've got a I wouldn't say a long show today, but I think it's going to be an important show today. So pretty excited about that. Mystic Fallen, good to see you guys. Yeah, I see a lot of old faces in here coming in as well. This might be a little bit awkward, might be a little bit strange. Pop, if you want to ping the Realm Royale Discord and say, hey, we're actually going to do it over here, that'd be helpful as well. Can you actually get permission to do that?
I should.
Cool, awesome. We'll do that one.
By the way, you misspelled my name.
Feisty, why you gotta do to me like this, dude? Right? Why can't we just?
You've been sitting
here 30 minutes in this chat, and not a single time you didn't think now was the appropriate time to bring it up?
I haven't seen the stream.
Okay.
Chat.
Brandon, good to see you. Creepers, great to see you as well. Total Pro, we got hanging out here. Frosty says we out here indeed. Today's gonna be an exciting show today, guys. For anybody who doesn't know, and you guys should know, this is we're on twitch.tv/Dilla. It's my channel. It feels good. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be alive. I know for my EU friends out there, welcome. I know it's late. I love you guys. EU, more like PU, baby. And of course, we're hanging out with the one, the only Shiz, community moderator, Pop Schlock. Again, somebody who's been taking up the reins when it comes to what we've been doing on the community side of things. Numbers extraordinaire and high-res Feisty. We're going to get into exactly who and what and where he is doing it. I see a lot of good people out there in chat. I'm assuming I'm gonna get yelled at a little bit tonight. And that's gonna be hot. It's gonna be spicy, but I think it's gonna be a good time. I've missed you guys so much. Kashar, great to see you as well. Kitus, god dang, baby. Good to see you, big man. Come on. Captain, ooh, it feels good. It feels weird to be back behind the camera, guys. It really does. It really does. But good news is every Thursday starting around now is going to be a time when I'm actually back on cam, so I get to see a little bit more of you guys. So, Burrito, I'm sorry, just letting people kind of come in, guys. For the next couple seconds, I should play some like B-roll music, but the Realm Royale channel unfortunately couldn't be used for tonight's escapades, so instead we're going to be doing this, hanging out. And I know, look, everybody, Shiz is here. Look how just good looking Shiz is. And I'm on my channel now, and I could just drop an F-bomb now, so I can just say fuck. Look at Shiz. Hey, look at this guy, huh? Look at this guy, huh? What are you doing out here, huh? Oh, nice. Yeah, I got some good faces coming in here, guys. Good faces. Creeper says, oh god, we're on my channel. That's right. No, we're gonna go 75% professional today. If I see you want 75 or 69?
69.
Okay, perfect. That's a good number. That's a good number, boys. Shiz average mod. Shiz has been kicking it. He's been doing some of the Lord's work out there for sure. Yeah. I still suck at this game. Well, Squishy, the game, just came out recently. You know what I mean? You have a little bit of time right before everybody. No, I'm kidding. The game's been out for like 10 years. Come on, what are you doing out here, dude? Come on. Oh, it's good to see you guys. I've missed you. I've truly missed you. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's broadcast, just remember that, yeah, I've been, on the other side of the desk, and I've missed you guys. I missed that community interaction. So, and seeing you guys always bring a smile to my face for sure. So, Mr. Winter, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I suppose though, let's kick off this fireside chat. This is going to be a little bit more of the theme of how we're going to be approaching Realm Royale. And that's to be, Feisty, where did you go? Feisty, you good, buddy?
Yeah, dude, my Discord crashed.
R.I.P. boys, R.I.P. No, he's back. 2023, we're starting off strong. Hey, everybody say hi to my mom. My mom's in chat as well. It wouldn't be a Realm Royale stream. Mom, I'm gonna need you to call up Stu again. My mom actually called Stu one time and told them to get better servers. And
Oh,
yeah. Mom, it's good to see you out here, Mom. Good to see you. Yeah, Mama Thor in chat, everybody. So, first of all, it's good to have you guys here. Second of all, let's talk a little bit about Realm Royale and what we've been doing for the last 3 months. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history, where we've been since patch 3, where we're going to go from here, talk about roadmaps, we're going to talk about updates and all that kind of stuff. So buckle up, maybe go get a little bit of dinner, maybe a little brewski if you're of age, apple juice if you're not, whatever. We're here to talk, and I'm here to introduce you to some good people. So starting off though, patch 3 rolled around right around the end of November, and it came out. We had the engineer, we had the battle pass. And I actually watched that old stream of the that was a little bit cringy on my part. I don't know why I kept saying bada bing bada boom, but I did. So sorry about that one, chat. Wasn't the best stream. And you'll kind of understand why in a little bit. But I was kind of riding the hype train and also no sleep. So the way patches go, chat, usually have a run up time of, if something comes out on the 21st of like November, right? We had been working on that patch for the last 4 months, 5 months. That's what, a sprint is. So right in the beginning of, I would say like the end of October, Hi-Rez took a very hard look when it came to its properties, right? The video game industry as a whole is on a downturn, right? And that's going to be a little spooky when I say that, right? But, we're not Spellbreak. We're not Rumbleverse. We're still keeping our servers up. Praise be. We're still keeping those things going. RIP, boys. Let's get some RIPs in the chat for the spell breaks and the Rumbleverse. But I'm making a little bit light of it, right? But I truly believe those were, good games. They had good characteristics about it. But it's hard out here being a video game. It really is. It's not just us going through a little bit of a rough time. Steam, Call of Duty on Steam lost 70% of its player base, right? Brawlhalla lost 50% of its player base, right? And so it's wild. It's wild. I've been doing video games for a long time, chat, and when I see the landscape right now, it is a rough time. I've had friends and family both in the video game industry who's lost their jobs over the last month and a month and a half, 2 months, and it sucks. It sucks. I've seen great people lose their positions, and they're just scared. Truly, honestly, they're just scared. I have to give my hat off to Hi-Rez, right? They've been trying to navigate these tumultuous waters the best they can, and in the beginning of November, a little bit October, right as we started working on patch 3, Hi-Rez said, hey, listen, we've got DKO coming out. We've got patch 10, the big kahunas for the Smite. We need some of our best people on those products, right? And unfortunately, that meant taking people like Brett, my boss, off of it, Daniel, Sean York. And really, while we started working on patch 3, Sean and I were kind of left to try to get patch 3 out. Now, that's not to say the other parts of the team didn't help out. Sean, absolutely a legend. Bazir, who works in QA, helped me get the builds out. Love that guy. Shout out to Bazir. But at the end of the patch 3, it was really just me and Sean trying to get an engineer out, a battle pass out, and that really culminated in us working over the weekends. And I'm not trying to like talk us up or whatever, but that's really how it worked. It was just 2 people working on that patch. And Hi-Rez needed to work on patch 10 for Smite and obviously DKO and all that kind of stuff. And that left me in a weird position, right? Let's just call a spade here. Left me in a weird position. And while I had learned quite a lot on Unreal 3, I hadn't progressed to the point where I thought I was good enough in order to float it by myself. Hi-Rez came to me and I said, Thor, we need you working on Unreal 4 and Unreal 5. I always joke around about this, guys, but to put it in perspective, Unreal 3 was made back when YouTube had 8-minute long, you could only upload 8 minutes of content to YouTube at a time. So a lot of what I was doing when it comes to learning Unreal 3 was watching 8-minute videos. So Unreal 3 is getting a little bit long in the tooth for sure. So Hi-Rez came to me and said, hey, Thor, we need you on Unreal 5, we need you on Unreal 4, and work on the prototype team. And that came right at the heels of patch 3. I said to myself, okay, well, I don't want to abandon Realm. Stu didn't want to abandon Realm either, and said, okay, Thor, on your spare time, worked together in order to hopefully get some patches out in your spare time. And I agreed to that. That was at the end of November. So December and January, I worked internally at Hi-Rez to work on the prototype teams, and that was pretty fun. I learned a lot on Unreal 4 and Unreal 5. But internally, we had to make another pivot. And last week... Last week was wild, chat. Last week was wild. I can't even tell you how crazy last week was internally. I had to make a hard decision. I had to make a hard decision internally at Hi-Rez, and I thought to myself, okay, how do I want to go about this, right? I'm still not great at Unreal 5 and Unreal 4, right? I've learned so much, but it's one of those things where that's a big engine, and it's a big leap from Unreal 3. So I sat down with Stu and I said, okay, Stu, what are we capable of? What do you want me to do? And where can I be the most effective at the company? And we ran the numbers at Realm Royale. And I said, Stu, there's things at Realm that it's 90% of the way there, right? There's another map, there's team deathmatch, there's spectator mode, there's things that are just, if I just had a little bit of programming hype, that I could probably get it over the finish line, get some really good patches out. And he looked at me and he said, let's fucking go, let's do it. So he grabbed the proverbial keys and just like threw them at my face. He says, all right, man, you've got 2023, let's see what you got, right? So yeah, and that's a weird feeling, and that's where I'm at. And while some may argue that I haven't been the best steward of Realm Royale, understanding the kind of the pressures and understanding the outside scope of what I've been given, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at to today here to discuss with everybody. Stu looked at me and said, hey, I'm going to give you a programmer. I'm going to give you a chance and see what you guys got. So we'll also, you know, we're going to talk about, I'm leveling up on Unreal 4 and 5, and that's where I'm at. And so in that short time of like 4 or 5 days, I started talking to Popschlock, I started talking to Shiz, and I started talking to Feisty. And we said, okay, what are we going to be doing with 2023? How are we going to be making an impact here? Focusing on gameplay, focusing on things, getting it across the finish line, focusing on what the roadmap's going to be. And yeah, focusing on performance. And I know a lot of people, I get screamed at every day by soccer moms talking about the Switch. They're like, Thor, you freaking idiot. Why is the Switch breaking? I'm like, oh God, oh God. So, you know, in the short span of like, 4 days, you guys might have noticed that voice chat on PS4 hasn't been working correctly, right? Because we found an issue with Vivox, our third-party provider, when it comes to the voice software. By disabling that, we've eliminated a lot of the crashes. We found, I talked a little bit on the social media side of things where it's like, oh, the servers have been absolute shit for the last month and a half, right? And yeah, and that's weird because we are paying a very big premium for servers, right? And so I went through there by the efforts of Shiz and the rest of the community. It turns out we had a ability causing like flat out crashes every time you use it in conjunction with another ability. So I went in there, I pulled up a scheduler and I ripped that ability out of the game last weekend. It did some tests and that like pretty much magically fixed the servers in a lot of ways. The server's been feeling amazing. Like I played like 100 games over the last 6 days or whatever, and they've been feeling great. But yeah, it's that's just kind of the efforts we've done in a little while. We'll talk about the roadmap. We'll talk about things we're gonna be doing in the future. But I wanted to give you guys a very frank understanding and a very talk to you like adults, right? Because you guys need to be, you guys are adults. You guys play video games, and I think you guys at the very least deserve to be talked to like you can understand the world we're living in right now, and getting into what we're gonna be doing in 2023. So there it is. Yeah, so that brings me to the right, or left, right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Shiz, community admin / moderator for Realm Royale. He's been working very closely with the community moderation team, right? I think he's got about 300 names on his list that he's been able to take care of over the last 3 months. Shiz, go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
Hey everyone, most of you should know me. I really shouldn't have to introduce myself, but hello, hey, we're here. We're doing stuff.
We out here, Shiz. We out here, baby. Yeah, so to speak a little bit about Shiz's efforts over the last 3 months, we brought him with the player experience team. We got him kind of trained up on the tools. And, people suck. I'm just going to say it right now. People fucking suck. And, Loney, no, he's not dead. I don't know why I said, like, rest in peace, Loney. But he's like, why can't you just be normal, right? And Realm Royale has, like other games, attracted a CD population of people who just like to, fuck around, right? And so I knew in order to, if we are going to have a shot at this, I needed to train somebody up to come onto the player experience side of things and help moderate. So Shiz, you've done a great job, right? The work's never over, guys. I got yelled at this today on Twitter. They're like, I can't believe there's teamers in solos. I'm like, that is not my fault, everybody. I don't know what to tell you. But those tools have been working. If you guys submit your reports, Shiz is the one been rocking it and making an effort. Yeah, and so it's not perfect. You know what I mean? Sometimes we catch people after the fact, right? But he's been doing great. He really has. And that leads us into our next person, Popschlock. You guys know Popschlock. And by the way, can we just talk real fast about Shiz real fast? Shiz has done what he's done, chat. Not because of monetary incentives, but because, yeah, even with Shiz understanding that, patch 3 at one point was going to be, the hold off on working on Realm, Shiz like, dude, I still want to help out the community. I still want to work weekends. I still want to do this. And I was like, Shiz, there's not a lot of money that I can give you, in order to do this. And she's like, I don't care about the money. I care about the community, right? Let me help you Hell, you know what I mean? Which is fucking, let's get some, Thor seems good, and let's get some love in chat for shiz. But that brings us into the Pop Schlock guys, the brains behind this operation, the guy that has been helping with the numbers, accumulating the results of the different streams that he's been doing, specifically like aggregating a lot of that feedback. So any balance problems is Pop Schlock's fault, specifically the engineer. So let's just blame Pop. No, that's not his thing. No, he's good. Pop, how you doing today, bud?
Good. I help where I can, you know?
Yeah, baby. And speaking of like numbers, engineer came in hot, right? We're gonna talk a little bit about balance and stuff like that. I know Pop's working to get that kind of document out specifically, but engineer's getting shot down from the sky a little bit. Don't worry, he's getting brought down, everybody. I know. But yeah, Pop Schlock's here hanging out with us. Pop, talk to us a little bit about what you've been doing lately and who you are.
Sure thing. Yeah, so first I'll link the balance doc for patch 4 out again. I got timed out because I'm not a mod in Thor. If you could work that out on my.
All right, got you.
Patch no standalone official
mod.
Discord.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, there we go. He's
Yeah, I basically help where Thor pulls me in. So you'll see a roadmap later, helping out with the development of that, helping out with some of the balance patch numbers, testing. I mostly sit behind the scenes. I'm not as forward facing as Shiz. So nice to meet those of you that I get to talk to.
Yeah, Pop, you've been instrumental in being able to come together, helping out. He's been doing the spreadsheets, he's been helping with patch notes and all that kind of stuff. And guys, I'm going to bring you guys a guest that you guys probably haven't seen in a little while. Zeus is doing great, everybody. Get some hype in the chat for Mr. Goosey. Yeah, I brought the little shitheads to Georgia, by the way. Zeus says a big hello. But that leads us into the man, the myth, the legend. When I sat down with Stu, he looked at me, I looked at him, he looked at me, I looked at him, and he looked at me. And he said, Thor, I like where your head's at, but I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to give you a programmer. And the reason why this is so important, you guys, if you've been with us for the last couple of months, is that one of my programmers, June, who's fan-freaking-tastic, amazing, she was on systems. And then the other programmer that was on the Royale Reforged team was on Epic Games Store. So, call it bad planning, call it bad on my part, but for the first time in Royale's Reforged is that we have a dedicated gameplay programmer, which is hype, baby! Because, not to spoil anything, we got class locking on an LTM. Ladies and gentlemen, it's High-Res Feisty. You might know him from Paladins. He's going to be hanging out with me. Not to butt, as they say in the in video games, hanging out with me. Feisty, how you doing today, bud?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here, as you can tell by my tone of voice. Kidding. Yeah, so I've been at High-Res for almost 3 years now, and we'll be glad and excited to work along with Thor to hopefully, as he said, bring in some features that were very close to being done before other programmers in the past had to leave. So, and hopefully continue giving this game some more new content for the next couple months.
Yeah, and you kind of hit the nail on the head. Finding things that are like 90% of the way there, and bringing it over that finish line. But Feisty, when you and I talked, right, I sat down with you and I was like, okay, what are you passionate about? What is something that you've been, itching to do, right? And design was one of those things that you mentioned to me. You're like, hey, Thor, I really want to get in design, right? So you've been taking the charge on the new mage abilities, and as you'll see in the roadmap, we've got 2 of them kind of like right at that door. Oh, it's getting there. So guys, Feisty's gonna be doing the new mage abilities, getting that kind of lock, stock, and barrel out the door to you guys, and then class locking. I know the community has kind of talked a little bit about, say, hey, Thor, I hate getting ramrodded by 3 engineers in lumber. What are you gonna do about it? And I'm like, that's a lot of work. Feisty comes in, he says, I got this, baby. I got this. And so we have we're getting it set up. We're going to be trying it in an LTM. And Feisty, like in 3 days, you managed to like come up with something, that a solution here, which has been really, really cool. Really, really cool. So
yeah. Before you keep patting my back too much, I must say, of course, it's very bare bones. There's no UI, because if we test the system and make sure it actually works and stuff, and people don't find ways to break it and still try to get to the same class, then yeah, like we can expand to look at trying to update the UI and stuff for things. But hopefully we can get it tested in an LTM soon, and we'll need obviously people's help to see if there's ways to bypass and stuff. So I mean, it's exciting though.
Yeah, and I think like I said, I touched on it a little bit before, but I'm really excited to have a gameplay programmer. Guys, over the next couple months, we are like, obviously cosmetics are a part of this picture, right? But we're focused on gameplay. We're focused on gameplay. We're focused on performance. Our pillars have really been specifically making the game run better, run smoother. Shiz, dude, shout out to you. You found a corrupted mesh in our files. Way back in the day with Paladins, there was a patch 70, I think it was. They were like, hey, we are ripping this mesh out because it's causing performance issues. And they never did that for Realm, right? And like, you know, we're getting old. We don't remember this stuff, right? So you found it, and so you guys will see Fungal Jungle change a little bit next patch. And I know there's been calls to revert Fungal, and we might do that. But the getting rid of that corrupted mesh is hopefully going to take some steps in making sure the performance of the game, both on Switch and PS4, hopefully gets to that point. And I did find old Fungal Jungle, by the way, everybody. So I don't have Brett telling me I can't destroy Fungal Jungle anymore, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys, but it's coming. All right. I suppose, guys, before I get to that next step of showing you that, Feisty, first of all, how long, you said you've been at high res for 3 years. You worked on Paladins, and that was like kind of your love, and now you're gonna be hanging out with us, man. I'm super excited to have you on the team. And again, guys, this is me. This is what you got, right? Me and Feisty, all right? And so I know there's people out there that want the world. They want like new classes. They want new this, they need that. We're not turning the servers off. We're not pulling a spell break. We're not pulling a run reverse. And for some people out there, you guys are not going to like everything we do. For some people out there, you're going to be like, hey, Thor, like I want more content, right? So try to keep that in mind as we bring you kind of the stuff, is that it's just me and Feisty. We're going to be in the trenches with you. This is going to be more of the tone and the approach that we're taking with you, the community, having office hours, being a little bit more approachable, saying like, hey, it's just you and us, community. The buck stops here. You know what I mean? So like, there's nothing wrong with going and playing other games, right? I love video games for sure. So yeah, I'm what you guys have. You have Feisty, you have me. So I'm really excited to go into 2023. And on that note, guys, let's show a little bit of the. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Is it? No, I'm very excited. Oh. Wait, I actually don't. Hold on. Everybody, hold on. I made it.
I'm holding.
Okay. Did I delete? No, there's the roadmap right there. So yeah, roadmap, guys. Roadmap. I know. I'm right here, everybody. Stop, Thor. No. The servers aren't turning off, by the way. We've got a lot of realm. We got a lot of realm this year. So ongoing priorities right now is to reduce bugs. I've been doing that with the voice chat. I've been doing that with the crashing of the servers. Please go out and play 100 matches. You'll see that the servers actually feel really good again. And we pay a lot of money for servers, and there's no reason why they should be shitting the bed like they have been. So there's that. Reduce the crashes that goes hand in hand, server performance that goes hand in hand. I talked a little bit about the corrupted mesh and world improvements. We're going to talk a little bit about team deathmatch going in, and that means a little bit of a rework when it comes to Valley and Cold Mist, and of course balance. Pop, if you want to throw again the soon-to-be patch notes that's coming in next, that I'm going to be submitting next week. Guys, I know more than anybody that the fucking engineer came in super hot. I get it. Trust me, I know. And so hopefully getting that to a good spot, tuning the hunter, bringing the assassin up a little bit, making the warrior buff a little bit. Nobody's ever going to be happy. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to be happy. I get it. Chat balance is an ongoing thing. I actually got yelled at on Twitter yesterday. They're like, Thor, the warrior is the most broken class in Realm Royale. Nerf the warrior. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here, guys. I don't know what to do here. So that brings us on to the Fungal Jungle rework.
Got timed out again.
Wait, you got
that a trick?
Oh, Rail, good to see you, buddy. That brings us into the Fungal Jungle rework, guys. It's one of those things where we're going to start off by saying, okay, what are those corrupted meshes? But then bringing in potentially old Fungal Jungle. I don't know. Maybe we'll vote on it. Maybe we'll see. I see a lot of hype for that old Fungal Jungle rework. I have the capability to do that. Spectator mode, we actually showed off spectator mode a little bit. What was that, 2 months ago? The problem is, though, that it crashes in duos and trios. And so tonight, actually, me and Feisty and some of the other QA friends are going to be jumping into spectator mode and see what we can identify as the reasons why it's crashing. Once we do that, we're going to get that into the hands of you guys through flags and stuff like that. So spectator mode, I would say, is about 50% of the way there. Double classing, that came in hot this week as far as the LTM goes. And so we're going to try to get that to you guys in your hands. Team deathmatch and deathmatch. Some of you old school Realm Royale nerds out there will remember deathmatch as it came in. That's exciting. It's like done, but yeah, there's some love on the programming side that it needs to do in order to get it through the GCT, in order to get it to your hands. And so the first iteration I'm looking to do is going to be on the original map that we currently have right now in the game, and then a new TDM map. I've set up the kind of the base line of that. If you guys saw my Instagram / post, I've been working on a new map. That when we made this image, it was at 5%. I would say it's closer to 15% now. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Feisty, you're rocking some of that new mage hype ability for sure. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be answering some questions as well. That brings us into custom game settings, guys. This is actually a little bit of a bigger ask. Me and Feisty, we sat down, we talked about it. We still want to give it to you guys. I think it's a freaking shame that we haven't been able to give you guys custom game settings over the years. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. Quite frankly, you guys have carried a lot of that evergreen content, and so we want to see if we can make you guys like have some really good fun custom games. Man, aim assist, I know you guys have shit on me on Twitter for that one. I get it. 40 player BR map. So if you guys have played tutorial and then did the command, you guys have seen this map that I'm referring to. We actually have a map in the works specifically for 40 player BR. It's playable. Excited about that. New class, new abilities, and that is what we're going to be hopefully bringing to the Realm Royale in potentially 2023. Obviously, everything is subject to change. We'll get that out for you guys as far as so you can see it. But that's it. That's that, chat. That's looking like the roadmap. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of work. But I've said it before. You know, me and Feisty are putting all of our effort and energy into specifically Realm Royale gameplay and all that. And I'm excited. I'm generally really excited for that. So, yeah. I've talked a lot. I've talked a lot so far. Shiz, Pop, you have questions for me. I know the Twitch chat has questions as well. And so Feisty and I will be standing by. We're going to shut our mouths a little bit and let Shiz and Pop kind of take over, guys.
Can you pull that roadmap back up quick?
No, absolutely not. This is my word. No, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, so I want to ask on the left-hand side, your ongoing priorities, the bugs, crashes, server performance, balance, world improvements. Just wanted to get your thoughts, especially around the bugs and crashes, because it does seem like patch 2, patch 3, the crashes almost got worse. We started to see more bugs. Council experience, there's still a lot of reports about crashes. Wonder if you could talk about those points some.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's, so I saw it in chat, kind of people echoing, it's like, hey, Thor, like, you know, it always comes in hot and it always breaks, right? It always burns us. So, Stu and I, we talked, you know, we're not under the gun as far as like, hey, you have to have a patch out on the 20th, right? And so that's what we were under last time, understanding the scope of the company, right? And we said, okay, we have deadlines, you know, part of this team is moving on to other projects, and we were always under a 2-week, 3-week, 4-week sprint, right? So now it's like, take a deep breath, understand where your game's at, understand that this game crashes quite a lot. What can you do? Do that investigation, try to figure out exactly what is causing these crashes. We showed that off in the the ability. We're not going to talk about the ability, but the ability that was crashing games in the IM manager. We found that voice chat is obviously causing a lot of issues, right? So yeah, hopefully now we can take a deep breath. And we had to do that investigation for sure, but I hear you. I don't want to live in a world where our game keeps crashing for sure. Yeah.
How about the mage abilities? What are you thinking? What are you doing?
That's Feisty talk to me, buddy. That's more on you, brother.
Oh dear. Gotta wing it now. No, I'm kidding.
No.
So we're looking at bringing back a couple or investigating a couple abilities that have already like existed, mostly functioning, like an ice wall or like a frost blast. We just lost a person. Oh no.
That's on me. Hold on. I'm grabbing a video of that really cool. And that's on me, boys. Hold on, everybody. I'm grabbing a video. I'm grabbing it. Shiz, actually put that streamable video of the animation with the new frost blast actually in there if you can. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad. We're good. Keep going, Feisty.
Yeah. So now I forgot.
I'll get timed out for.
You're gonna get timed out.
Send it to you.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. So we found some old school animations from old Realm that we want to kind of repurpose. Frost Blast is waiting in the wings. We do have Frost Blast working. So we can add a little bit of special sauce to that specifically. Ice Wall is there. You guys might have found Ice Wall back in the PTS of the engineer. I showed it to Feisty and he's like, okay, I can see why it's broken. Let's see if we can't get it to the point where Mage has those extra abilities. We also found another one where it was the portal beacon from old school Realm. Talus. I think it's Talus's ability specifically.
Yeah.
Feisty. We have that in the code as well. So we've got some knobs that we can turn specifically for the mage. She's interesting. Coming into the patch, you guys will see that Healing Flask will now also reduce the damage that players take by 15%. So we wanted to give more of a dueling ability to the mage, while what I can do in a quick week turnaround. Sword now also buffs the mage speed by 15%. I want to say 15 to 30%. What did we land on, boys? For the was it 30%?
30%.
Yeah, 30%. So now if you cancel Soar early, you'll be able to get that movement speed, specifically if you want to duel. So there is,
really good.
yeah, it's pretty good for that kind of dueling capability. I saw, is there any improvements for the warrior? Yes, warrior is getting a little bit of buffs as well. Yeah. But yeah, specifically for the mage, we need to make the mage better. Matt's standing by with UI/icon help, so shout out to Matt. And so we want to get the mage to that point where it's fun and interesting. So yeah, good question. Bob, you want to get the next one? Yeah, or fight.
Yeah, I was looking at the double classing one specifically. So somebody said does that mean no more teams full of engineers? So the answer to that is yes. But for Feisty, I remember on one of the past streams, Thor had mentioned that this would be a huge effort with all these components. I'm wondering if you found a new approach, or are you going to be tackling all those components?
Well, so getting the game to actually force swap people who were on, who are, once you're in the Zeppelin and, getting ready to drop, force switching people to different classes if you're on the same, that part wasn't too hard. But if we keep it in long term, the harder part will be having the UI correctly communicate to players and warn them, being like, hey, by the way, you've got 2 people on, mage or whatever, or 2 people on engineers. Someone is randomly going to get swapped if you guys don't decide between yourselves before the match starts. So that'll be honestly the harder part, is figuring out at what point to lock and best communicate that, hey, you need to switch or the game's going to switch you. But again, we're hopefully going to test the bare bones of the force swapping classes in an LTM, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, Feisty, you brought up a good point. So one thing we want to do with the LTM guys is, for the more the competitive aspect nature, run a couple weekends specifically, smaller circle, no bots, and a no double classing, right? And prove it out in specifically an LTM, and then see if it makes sense to bring it over to the main game for sure. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds expandable too, which is cool. You could add more features once you get the base easy path to double classing. It seems like you'd be able to layer quite a bit onto that after, whether it's gameplay phases or priority picks, whatever it is.
Yeah. Just taking one from the chat real fast about grounding shot doing no regs. So over the last month and a half, obviously the servers were shitting the bed. Specifically, there was an item in there causing massive server lag. However, having said that, grounding shock in and of itself has some inconsistencies. So does Concussion Bomb. Part of that is the map itself and the weird registration when it comes to specifically that. The fact that Grounding Shock is just really weird. Now, I know yesterday, or 2 days ago, we messed with Grounding Shock actually being able to go through meshes and items, but it didn't feel right. So you're able to Grounding Shock. If somebody was on the other side of a wall, you'd be able to hit the other side of the wall and actually Grounding Shock somebody. It just didn't feel good. It felt a little bit like Soul Gust. So that's still ongoing, but we have taken a look at it. Bot nerfs. But you guys want bot nerfs? Come on. Who's out here getting clapped by bots? What's happening right now? What's happening?
I'm going to be buffing some bots. It's going to do the opposite. I did see one question earlier mentioning, it's like, oh, could we upgrade Realm to UE3 to 4 or 5? The answer is no. Unfortunately, Unreal Engine 3, which is what Realm runs on, is not upgradable in any way to a 4 or 5. That going forward, though, Epic Games realized that that's not a good strategy to just have a game engine that's not upgradable at all. So, at least in the future, games that are made in 4 will be upgradable to 5. But unfortunately, Realm was not in that state, so that's not a possibility.
Yeah. To that point, and again, guys, don't take this as gospel or whatever. So part of this initiative here, though, is to very much level up Feisty and I on Unreal 4 and Unreal 5. And I know my pet project internally is going to be again, because I need to get spun up on Unreal 5 as fast as possible, is seeing what does Realm look like in Unreal 5, right? Again, this is not don't be like, oh god, Thor's making Realm and Unreal. That's not what this is, right? But I do want to see if I can tinker around and hopefully get some kind of semblance of what would Realm look like in Unreal 5, right? Because I truly think Realm is one of the best games out there. Showing its age in so many ways for sure. But I drool at the idea of, a Realm Royale in, giving its legs back for sure. For sure.
So Thor, feel free to take the roadmap off your screen if you wanted to show your beautiful face again.
Oh, there it is.
I want to throw you a little bit of a hardball here. So communication, I think people know, has not been the strongest suit since Reforged. There's been a number of periods of quiet time. We get a lot of information at a patch and then quietness. It sounds like you have a little more autonomy here with the team changes. Can you speak to that and what your plans are for communication going forward to make sure we're all in the loop?
I'm gonna roast all of you nerds on Twitter, right? You come at me with those shit plays, I'm gonna be actually, I'm kidding, I'm teasing. No, yeah. So Bozzy had a similar question, right? At the end of the day, it's just me and Feisty, right? So, so temper expectations as far as how much I'm going to be able to talk to you guys, but I am going to talk to you guys like adults, right? I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm not doing this, or I am doing this. This is a great idea. This is not a great idea. So for the Realm Royale Twitter in particular, it's just going to be my voice, right? It's going to be me doing exactly what I'm doing now, sitting down with you and just having an upfront, open dialogue, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The idea of you guys screaming at me, I get yelled at all the time, but you guys show me a lot of love, which is great, amazing, whatever. But to your point, as far as old communication goes, I agree. It's one of those worlds where, November, October, it was a very tumultuous world, right? And like I pointed out in the beginning of the show, is that the game industry as a whole was just, it's kind of just losing players across multiple games. So having said that, that's not an excuse. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of insight of why, it's hard to communicate when you yourself don't know what you're doing, right? But that's not an excuse. That's just kind of where I'm coming from. Now, though, it's just, I have the keys to the castle. I'm going to have an open upfront dialogue. It may not be what you want to hear, right? But it's going to be the truth. And so it's going to be the truth. That's what I can say. I'm going to talk to you like an adult. I'm not going to pamper things. I'm just going to say, hey, guys, we can't do that, right? And then that's where I'm at.
As a player and also being on the inside, this is all good stuff. Some of you out there might think it's bad, but this is all good stuff coming. So.
Yeah, I to that point where I personally get excited about having Feisty on the team, right? 2 people directing 100% of their efforts specifically for Realm, in my opinion, is better than 8 people who have been doing a lot of other trying to keep the strands together, right? Now, very clear. Brett, Sean, June, Leandro, Daniel, these are Basir. They're I couldn't have done what I did with Realm Royale Reforged in the launch. They're instrumental. They're amazing. I love them. They're just generally great people. But I'm personally excited to see what I can do with a gameplay engineer and hopefully focus specifically on making the game better. And yes, I cosmetics are great, right? But I don't care. I don't, you know what I mean? If skin gets a recolor, cool. We do need to keep the lights on, yes. But I'd rather focus our energy specifically on making the game a better game, not trying to sell a skin. And I think Stu's aligned with that for sure. Not to say we don't have some the recolors in the works that look pretty fire. They're actually pretty cool. They're actually pretty cool.
I can't even type in the chat anymore. It says I have to be a follower for a month.
Wow, that is. I'm a garbage streamer. that is not good.
I typed a message earlier, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so Mozzie has a good question. It's why didn't you guys allocate more money to Realm, right? So first and foremost, when we started, when I got brought on the team last March, right, there was already an MAU decrease, right? There's what's called an ARPU, average revenue per user, right? You take
define MAU as well.
Monthly average users. Yeah. And there's always been talk about hey, Thor, why didn't they do a marketing campaign? Why didn't they get Realm out in front of more players? There is both retention and ARPU. And if people who pick up Realm for the first time don't stick with it, and we all know, we love Realm, right? But it's ugly. It's got bugs. It's got weird. You know what I mean? And when there's other experiences out there for the layman to come out and have fun, right? Fortnite, we can't kid ourselves. We know the bugs. We know the issues. We know Realm is old, right? We love it. We this is our home, and we will protect our home, right? But for new acquisition, it's not good. 10-day, 30-day. Month acquisition is not great at all, right? So understanding where our strengths and faults lie, right? Patch 3 came out to hopefully give them hooks to specifically hey, let's do a battle pass, which is a retention tool that costs a lot of money, right? Battle passes cost a lot of money. In a game like Fortnite, you're going to get that money back, right? Because enough people are going to actually buy it. And for us, right, it was both a retention tool and a cosmetic, and saying, hey, we did that. We had to get scrappy with that battle pass. I'm super proud of what we did. But Realm is in a weird spot where it doesn't retain players very well. So doing a campaign of saying, hey, let's throw more money at it. Quite frankly, the video game industry as a whole has to be very careful where they allocate their funds. So, what we do as far as advertising now going forward is going to be very much evergreen content. I think Realm Royale tournaments, especially if we have a bang and spectator mode, brings people into the fold, right? I see some of the shit that you guys do, blows my fucking panties off, right? And I've always thought it was shit that, like, we can't show off the game in its best light, right? I truly feel like that's going to be how we bring new players into the fold, not finding a Twitter ad campaign says, hey, go play Realm Royale, right? They play it, they see a bug, they say, fuck this game, we're out, right? So showing off the game in its best light is how I potentially feel like it's going to bring some more players. And yeah, I love the community that what we have. I think we have a lot of players as well. We actually have pop-in servers. We actually have, you play at peak hours and you can get those 60 player lobbies, and it's fun. It's really good.
Sorry, I'm so happy to hear you say prioritizing gameplay or cosmetics. And there's a lot of unreleased cosmetics that I know you found, so I'm excited you're leaning into those to minimize that time. I have a question from Potato Hunter. He was wondering about old abilities coming back, specifically wondering about Ghost Walk potentially instead of Decoy. Well, what's your thoughts there?
Well, Decoy's not going anywhere. Very, very clearly. Decoy is staying. A lot of people like Decoy. As far as what Ghost Walk could do, I personally would like to see Ghost Walk transform and morph into more of like a Ghost Wolf ability, right? You transform into a wolf for X amount of time and you kind of get that same feeling. Yeah, taking things, tweaking them, getting into a point where like they feel fun and unique again, but using the actual ability as a base. A lot of people like Ghost Walk. Ghost Walk was an assassin ability when it first started out, right? I could see a world where it goes back to the assassin, but just in a way to say, hey, cool, we have throwing knives in the code, right? What can we do to get that to the next stop? So yeah, for sure. Ice Walk. Oh my god. Hunter's too strong. Hunter's getting a little bit of nerfs next patch. She's getting brought down. She's getting tad. We gotta be a little bit careful, right? I don't want to bring it down too much. But the Hunter's bow specifically is very, very, very good. But crossbow is getting brought up a little bit and changed and tweaked, and while the double offensive is getting tuned down for sure. Are we still getting a new update every 3 months? So this is one thing that I want to very much hit on. I don't want to release an update until it's ready, until you guys have enough content to be like, hey, this is fun, right? I want to be more open and communicate. It would be like, hey, this is where we're at with these features, right? And then if you guys are like, hey, we want to get this in our hands right now, we don't, and so we're like, okay, cool, let's branch, let's get that out there, and let's get that in front of you guys when the time is right. I don't want to just be under the guise of like, on the 20th, we have to submit to Microsoft, we have to do this. Anything that we were working on that we could get done in another 4 or 5 days, don't do that, because that's where the world we lived in now. I'd rather get something done, spend the extra time, and make it right. Do it right the first time.
See, a lot of people have mentioned duos or squads if they're coming back. Can you? I know that was tested in a recent patch. Can you speak to how that played out?
Yeah, duos and squads, and this conversation. Man, if I had a nickel. So I understand, first of all, people who want duos and squads back, right? We live in a world where we have an X amount of players that are playing our game, right? People think if you add more queues, more people will come. That's just hasn't been proven out. I made the decision to go to solos and trios specifically by looking at not only other games here, but also what the community was doing. And I felt very strong that solos and trios should be the way forward because of the amount of players playing in each region and at times, and because I felt like the game was a better experience to have more players in your lobby than it was to have duos and squads where there wouldn't be anybody playing at all, right? I not only looked at the data saying like how many people are actually playing duos, how many people are actually playing squads, and how many people are playing solos. Slicky Nicky's out there in the chat, and I left duos on last night just like by accident because I was working on a bunch of different things. Duos was actually in the rotation for X amount of time, and again, it came out underneath solos. Solos and trios are about played equally. It's not a good world to live in, guys. If there was more players, I would turn on squads outside of just the weekends. If there was more players, I would have duos, right? A good compromise leaves everybody angry. I understand, right? But there's a reason why Fortnite just went with trios. There's a reason why Bloodhunt the Masquerade got rid of duos, right? Apex has trios, and I've looked over and over and over again. It's not going to make everybody happy, right? I understand the feeling of leaving your friend behind. It's like, hey guys, it's only trios, or if you're duos, right? And you're like, hey, I had to play with a random who doesn't know shit, and he like disenchants everything, and it sucks. This is a horrible. I get it, right? It's not a great experience. I understand that. However, I feel very strongly that in solos and trios, you'd rather have the amount of players in your lobby that actually is conducive to a really battle royale experience than have 3 different queues that all of them are empty, right? So It's not perfect. It never will be perfect. I'm working on team deathmatch, which will be more of a smaller experience that you can bring in duos. Right now, I have a current plan to do a 12 plan, so you can bring in squads or duos specifically into team deathmatch to kind of get that experience of being able to do that. But it's not perfect. This is again me talking to you like you're adults, right? It's not perfect. However, just looking at the data, seeing what people play in relation when I turned back duos, right? People wanted duos, then they screamed at me. They're like, Thor, duos suck, and I'm like, okay. What are we doing here? I did the science experience. I got yelled at. So yeah, I get it. I truly get it. Yeah, but I'll always look at it. And if we have an uptick in player base and it makes sense, right? Like say we have a smaller map, right? We have a smaller map. It's 40 players in a world where we have smaller maps and more players, right? Then maybe it's solo duos and squads again, right? And players can have fun.
Are we going to see any kind of changes to the tutorial? Are we going to get an updated one, force tutorial, anything about that?
Tutorials are hard. I know. In a world where our player base is mostly veterans, right? There is that new player acquisition funnel that makes sense to have a better tutorial. It sucks. But quite frankly, making Kismet, making player paths, making voice lines and stuff like that, I could either like try to understand how to make a comprehensive tutorial, or I can work on making the game better, more abilities, fewer bugs, and all that kind of stuff. And right now, the needle just points at getting the game to a better spot for the players that have enjoyed the game for the last 5 years. So it's not ideal. I know some players out there just say, fuck the tutorial, I'm going to go learn the game. And, a part of that new player acquisition with the ARPU is the fact that, our tutorial is not great. And I get that for sure. But I'm only one guy.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Anything about Hunter T-posing?
Hunter T-pose.
It's mostly spectating, right? So a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. So that
Hunter himself is not T-posing, but you'll see the Hunter T-posing. So it looks like every Hunter's T-posing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's only a spectator thing.
That Tiger Lily. Yeah. So great thing. The Hunter T-pose is very much fine from the player side, but when you're spectating it, it shows the player to be T-posing. Yeah, I don't fucking. If anybody's an Unreal 3 expert, go ahead and tell me how to fix this Hunter. So we had.
You have one in chat.
Yeah.
Contact info for after this.
Yeah. So the guys, us fixing the Hunter T-pose issue hasn't been like, oh yeah, we just don't need to fix this. It's a combination of coming out of different animation poses and the server not communicating in time, and then the server saying, hey, go to A pose versus B pose. It's hard. And we were able to put in like a band-aid fix to say, okay, if you're actually playing the Hunter, you will not see the T pose. But when it comes to other players and the communication from the server to the client and stuff like that, that's not how that plays out. That's not how, and it sucks. I hate it. We'll look at it, right? And we got programmer now, so hey, Feisty's on. Feisty's on the ball, everybody. He's on the ball for sure. Great question though. Strawberry, great to see you, by the way.
A lot of people want to know what's up with the dragon.
So one thing about the dragon, right, is that the dragon actually doesn't take up any memory from the game itself. And so it's what's called a marionette. It flies around, and if you actually loaded up two clients back to back to each other, your dragons would actually be in different spots, right? And it's funny, Switch people be like, Thor, you added a dragon. This is why the game is crashing. Well, the dragon actually doesn't put any really load onto the server itself, right? And that was intentional, and to the point where like we got to the spot where the game was running good. It was like, okay, let's make the dragon a bot, which would take up resources. Maybe it does a fire line. Maybe it adds actionable moments in the battle royale itself. We still have plans for the dragon. I think that'd be really cool, but we need to get our game running like fucking butter, before we do anything with the dragon, right? Just again, in a adult conversation with you guys. I like the baby. I like the baby dragon too. Sorry, Feisty, go ahead, bud.
I was accidentally muted when I answered the previous question. Yeah. So to fix the Hunter T-posing, my solution was just to remove the Hunter.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Yep.
Little scorched. See, this is what I have to deal with Twitch chat. this is it. This is good. Yeah. The time it takes to loot chests and upgrade all of your items in the game feels repetitive and long. Is there a game mode that you can do have all the weapons and abilities maxed out and you fight in a small area? You want a game mode that you can fight in a small area and have like all your maxed out loot? Good news is I'm working on it. That's the easiest one I can throw at you. Yeah, I'm working on it for sure. To be determined when, but the idea here is to have a smaller map. That's team deathmatch. It's deathmatch where you a very easy path to power and get your loot out and just have fun. Just have fun. I think Realms combat really speaks for itself, right? And I want to focus on that and the fun aspects of it for sure. Yo. I've been playing a long time and just can't. There's a 3 to 10. So I am ludicrous. Oh my God, what a time to be alive. Ludicrous. First of all, I would ask what region you're playing on. And because I've seen, and I've been playing a lot, where peak times, right, were 7 to 9, or even during the day, right, those lobbies are actually popping, specifically on NA. I'm hoping those smaller map size, right, a 40-player battle royale and or the small team deathmatch will still give you that experience of having fun with Realm. Not ideal, right? But again, I hear you. I definitely hear you, man. When is Realm gonna get a lore story? I'm gonna sit down with like just a book and some parchment and be like, listen, stay a while, friends and children. And let me tell you the story of the Realm. Yeah, Realm actually had a this is weird kind of like fun fact. Realm paid an author to sit down and like write out this whole entire manuscript. This is like 6 years ago or whatever. Never saw the light of day, so maybe I'll find that out and we can have a fun stream where I just like put a little campfire up and we talk about it. Oh, we're good to see you.
Did you speak to custom settings yet? What your goal is there? I thought custom settings is in consideration. What are you thinking you want to build in?
Yeah, so to be very clear, this was a bigger ask than we first originally thought. But ideally, this would be a drop-down menu where I would make like 20 LTMs specifically targeted at what you guys want to play, and then you hit that drop-down. Maybe it's for the streamers playing the game. Streamer says large circle over or LTM equals large circle over fungal jungle, right? Or over crossing, and then that LTM itself would have all that logic dictated in there. And then that way the streamer, player, whatever that makes the custom game good, all they have to do is hit a drop down. But that is to be determined. Feisty's gonna absolutely strangle me if I promise that. So it's one of those things where, yeah, he will strangle me. So, but that is something, yeah, for sure. When are we shooting for patch 4? So patch 4 is I want to get it locked, cocked, locked, and rocked for Wednesday of next week. About where we get it branched, we get it locked in. There's going to be patch notes both in the Realm Royale Discord and the other thing, and though that's mostly balance and then cleaning up corrupted meshes. And then we get to work on the discovery phase specifically of what that goes. We're looking at it from if we submit it Wednesday to the console publishing team, they'll submit it to Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, maybe that Friday or that Monday, and then there's a 6-day turnaround specifically for one of our publishers who shall not be named because, yeah. I miss
So
you
that
too.
sounds like about, am I hearing about 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would say realistically about in 2 weeks. That I would say that's a pretty safe bet. Can you remove the noises from the new hover bike? It's horrible. I will have to kiss Garrett on the mouth to get any kind of like sound and audible time. I'm willing to take one for the team. He's a great guy. Garrett, if you're watching there, love you, buddy. Garrett, it was our sound designer. He's working on a lot of different things. We've had some back and forth specifically for the hover bike. I don't know if you guys agree, disagree when it comes to the hover bike. Yeah, I don't know. I will try, but Garrett's sound, we don't have a sound designer on the team, and Mr. Potato here, me, I don't know how to tweak those sounds. I just yell, for sure.
Goes for like the shark too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If one were to be fixed, I'm sure the rest could also be looked at, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully. Again, we'll have to. I'll give you guys Garrett's PayPal, and we'll just send him like some. I don't know, guys. Garrett and I've got a pretty good relationship. I love Garrett. Garrett's a great guy. I named a gun after him actually. So yeah, we'll try. We'll definitely try. The shredder back. I would love to. Feisty, can we get dual wielding shredders as our next weapon? Let's just absolutely out here dual wielding.
Super easy.
Yeah. To be fair, Leandro said he could help out. And so I don't want to speak for Leandro, but I would love to see a world where dual wielding shredders come in for sure. Miss you too, Tundra, for sure.
Thor, I've seen a number of comments in chat about cheaters, speed hackers, and whatnot. Do you have any plans around that?
So EAC just did an update. So weirdly enough, in the beginning of January, EAC put up a new update and banned, I think, 300 accounts in one day. And so as EAC pushes these builds out, we will get them into Realm as fast as possible to specifically help with that kind of stuff. Guys, Shiz, who is in chat right here hanging out with me this way, he has been leading the efforts on specifically the community moderating, working with our player experience tool, and working with our player experience team. It's not perfect, guys. We're not Call of Duty. We're not Activision. We're not Destiny, right? And they don't even get it right all the time. It's hard. People are assholes. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They're fucking assholes. and it sucks, right? But we'll whack the moles as they come up, but be patient with us. And but I know Shiz himself. I've seen the list where he takes, this is people, right? I'm like, holy shit, Shiz, awesome. He works over the weekends. Now that doesn't give everybody permission to message Shiz and be like, hey, this guy's cheating, ban is like, please don't do that, right? That's not what Shiz is here for. But yeah. Right now, proximity chat is completely off the board. That's actually causing a lot of our issues on PS4. I'm going to take proximity chat and I'm going to throw it out the window, and I never want to see it again. We're going to do some studies tonight, specifically to see how much that's affecting older PS4s. But yeah, it seems to be helping the PS4 crashes a lot, specifically when people are in parties with party chat on.
You fixed the vibration on controllers, right?
I did fix the that was a big shout out to you guys. Now when you get shot with an ice staff, you'll not have your controller. Yeah. Make a written chat for all consoles. I want to get away from that. So part of the reason how people cheat used to be typing in /God mode and all that kind of stuff. So I want to remove all chat from the game. If you want to talk to people, you can go to Discord or, I don't know, Snail, but I don't know what it is, guys. Get all that Discord hype. I don't know what to tell you. I get it. It's frustrating, and I love proximity chat and like Warzone and other games like that. But what's best for the game is obviously not crashing or typing /God mode. So yeah, for sure. Any updates with controller settings yet? That is a huge ask. Unreal 3. Again, I always go back to how Unreal 3 was made and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't designed for crossplay. It wasn't designed for specifically controller on PC. I hear you. It sucks, and we'll look at it. I know I personally have the ability to go in gun by gun by gun to start messing with the aim assist. Dreaded has been helping out. He's in chat right now. He is specifically a controller player. I need to get better at getting controllers feeling good and saucy. It's going to be a big ask. It's going to be a really big ask, though. So I'll try specifically for the aim assist, but dead zones and all that kind of stuff, that's off the table, specifically for me and Feisty, who are only 2 people. Add more space to emotes. I'm not a UI engineer. I'm not a UI artist, guys. That kind of stuff. Yeah, that's not gameplay focused. No more OG skins in the shop. Just because of that, I'm gonna add all the OG skins in the shop just for that. Yeah, you want primal warrior? You're getting primal warrior back at. No, I'm kidding. Widley, why are you yelling at me? I don't know when voice chat's coming. Widley, I just turned it off, right, because it was causing a lot of crashes on the PS4. So hey, Winley, sit down, okay? I don't know when it's coming back. It might not. You keep it up, it's never coming back. Winley, go ahead, keep it up. Jesus Christ, what are we doing out here? Old titles, I gotta be careful with old titles, right? That's been an ask from the community, right? But if you could just buy the old titles and stuff like that, it kind of cheapens the experience for people who have the old titles. So I don't know how that would come back, right? Double classes, yes, no mercy, you missed it, right? This, like, literally today, Feisty messaged me. He's like, hey, I have a new variable in the LTMs, specifically for double classing. So we're going to be trying an LTM specifically for more focus on competitive, where double classing is not allowed, and no bots and all that kind of stuff. So look for that. It's probably not going to get it into the next patch, but maybe it will. We're going to try. I'm going to try. Put a couple of all-nighters to see if we can't make that happen.
I have 2 questions from us BTV. The first one was if there's extra sounds from chickens when they're dropping from the sky. And the second one is about more abilities to report people, not just the ones that killed you, but if you see other people breaking TOS.
So we do have the high-res portal tool that Shiz has access to be able to see those reports. I don't have that link on me, but we are checking that. Specifically, we are checking the highres.com/support a ticket and all that. Use that, because that's the easiest way Shiz can like see that kind of shit. Yeah, I would say use that, and you're able to like put a link and all that kind of stuff. So,
and the chicken sound, so when they're dropping from the sky, easier ability to track them. How about that?
Again, that goes back to having an audio engineer. I would love it, but again, I don't know how many kisses I can give to Garrett before he says, Thor, I hate you. Stop making me do things on Realm. So we'll try. That's a good question, though.
Thanks.
Fix the engineer turret at Forge. Mine gives me different abilities. I know the one you're referring to. I'm not going to fix it this patch, but I do. We are tracking that one. Yes.
Have you considered proximity chat?
I'm yanking all proximity chat out if it makes the game run smoother, and that's kind of where I'm at with that one. Angry Games said, one thing I'd like to see is better controller configurations for console players because you can't use everything in the controller settings for buttons and whatnot. Yeah, I hear you, Angry Gaming. And then again, this is half my failure as a designer, right? Because I can't come in and I can't mess with the programming. I can't mess with the UI and all that kind of stuff. That is a huge ask specifically to get that kind of stuff. Having said that, I can do some tweaks to the aim assist and whatever, but I hear you. My controller friends out there, it sucks. It really does. Now, I want to try to get aim assist when you're using a controller on PC, and I think that's only fair. But I hear you, and I'll try. But again, I'm focusing specifically on gameplay related things.
Also, if anyone wants to see patch 4 notes, I see it is pinned in the chat. So top of the chat, feel free to click that, and I'll have patch 4 preliminary notes. They aren't finalized yet, as Thor is still working on it.
Yeah, Mozzie brought up, can we get map changes? Yes, there is actually some fungal jungle changes specifically in the next patch coming up. I added an iceberg to the underpass. I fixed the ramp that got taken out of Outpost, and I've done some other changes here and there. Map change is going to be a high priority list as we bring Team Deathmatch specifically into the game while using the old map. I want to get Valley and Cold Mist kind of like tightened up and have some new POIs specifically to make that feel really good. But yes, to the map stuff for sure. Yes, I will do that, IP. I think if we all band together, yeah, for sure, J. Paul, for sure. Miss Agent, great to see you. Nerf the fog. I think, Shits, can you correct me if I'm wrong, but the bug relating to the fog out of Graveyard is fixed?
Yes.
Nice.
Is he referring to the fog bug or the actual damage the fog does?
Oh, actually, the damage the fog does? I can actually, yeah, we can look at that. Apparently the fog's out here clapping cheeks. What are we doing out here? Yeah. King, I doubt it, buddy. I doubt it. The putting PC, getting a console, putting a mouse and keyboard onto the consoles, it's a bigger ask. It's nothing I can do.
Will you ever be able to buy old skins? A new player never had the chance to buy those.
Yeah, I mean, that's more of a monetization ask. I can see where that makes sense. I'll see. You know what I mean? Again, I'm focused. My priority right now is making the game sing and making the game feel good, working with Feisty, seeing what he's passionate about, getting the game in a balance correctly, and then also running smoother, right? Those are my big pillars, and then having that team deathmatch, the new map, and stuff like that. Cross progression from Sony? No way. That's sorry, that's a Sony call. That's not a us call. I would love it. Hey, Sony, if you're watching this, all 350 of my friends here hanging out, we'd love it, but that's not a call for me to make, right? I know. Trust me. I know. Tiger Lily says, Yeah. Wait, she hasn't been around for my ticks. When is battle?
I used to get everyone.
Oh, everyone.
Everyone did the
yeah, baby. Sounds for the new emotes. Again, I'm not a sound engineer. I am signing Garrett up for a lot of the stuff, and I think he's gonna kill me. So we'll see, but I doubt it for sure. Yeah, Moogle, good to see you, buddy. How you doing today?
There's many people asking, is the battle pass gonna end?
Battle pass is not ending anytime soon, guys. I trust me, I hear you. It's weird. Some people finish the battle pass in like what, 2 weeks, and then a lot of you slackers out here, I don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So get the battle pass done. Having said that, I could see a world where a battle pass could come down the line where it takes things that are not currently in your inventory, old skins, old stuff like that, and then automatically, we'll say that, says, okay, here's a new battle pass with things that you missed out on the, and put some time and effort into it. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I know Smite did something like that. I think that'd be really awesome to implement, but I'm not promising it. Yeah. A random button for loadout? I don't know, Feisty, that's, again, UI and related, but I would love to see a world where you hit a button and it just randomly selects your cosmetics for you. That'd be cool. I would like that a lot.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Any chance of being able to drop shards? Someone wants to know.
Drop shards.
Like share shards between people?
Right.
Oh, you're shard, dude. Come on.
Maybe.
Have you changed when the cooldown? I noticed a given cooldown across all raids currently starts over on the air. Where Ethan, now right now we're just gonna hit the cooldown of the thrust and see. We hit engineer pretty hard this patch, so we're gonna take a step back and see where those things land. I hear you when it says, when the heroic leap ends firing. That's an end fire module. The thrust is very much, it thrusts and that ability's over, right? So yeah, we're gonna keep it the way it is right now, but see how it feels. And if it's still bad, good, whatever, we'll make some adjustments based on that. Any plans on going back to the 3 class weapons per class, or will it be just the warrior? So I can tell you that the throwing knives are in the game, right? And I'm not saying, oh, throwing knives confirmed, right? No, I'm not saying that. But I want to get the assassin. Potentially, I think that's the lowest hanging fruit, specifically for the next class weapon. Yeah. Long story short, that'd be fun. That would be fun. And Feisty is going to be taking the lead. A lot of the new abilities and new weapons. So any ideas? Go to Feisty, because I'm doing more producing stuff. So yeah, yell at Feisty for new weapons.
Any chance of adding class XP to the quests, not just crowns?
Class XP to the quest, not just crowns. Ooh.
Not battle pass XP, but class XP.
Yeah. So I know Feisty, we talked about the quest not resetting every hour, right? And I can see a world where those quests are now that's a reward that we could do.
Cool.
Peanut Perry, good to see you, my friend. Whoa, Yaga Bull hanging out, dude. Hanging out. All right. Well, we'll take 1 or 2 more questions, guys. This has been a long stream already, an hour long. And Shiz, Pop Schlock, is there any closing remarks from you guys before we take a couple questions from the chat?
I really appreciate you doing these Fireside chats, and I hope to see transparent communication going forward. Something I think that the community is really eager to hear.
Yeah, gotcha. Marino, just kind of piggyback on that. Marino, buddy, it's me and Feisty, right? What you see is literally what you're getting right now. Now, I'm not going to be on Twitter roasting kids every day, but every other day, I can see myself roasting some kids. Now, yeah, I hear you, buddy. When it came to the Realm Royals relaunch, right? We were on very shaky ground, specifically on what we were doing. It's hard to communicate your plan when that plan is in flux, right? And so that's not really great. What I can tell you though is that I'm going to be here, right? Think of me hanging out at a fire, cooking my s'mores, dude, making some s'mores, right? And if you come over to me, start bugging me, be asking me where the bug spray is, I'm gonna throw my freaking s'mores at you, right? But if you come over to me and say, hey, Thor, what about this? I'd be like, yeah, sure. It's the John's right over there, buddy. And so, you know what I mean? That's kind of the approach that I'm taking. Every Thursday, I'm gonna be live. You can come in here, sit down with me next to the fire, have some s'mores with me, talk, chat, just get to, know the game, get to know Feisty. Feisty is gonna do some of that as well. And of course, there's Shiz and there's Pop Schlock. And so I hear you about the communication. It hasn't been tight, right? And that's on me. At the end of the day, the buck stops here. So put me to task. If it falls off again, Pop will call me out. But until then, yeah.
Also want to say I am stoked for how excited you are for Rome, and that you now have more autonomy and freedom than you've ever had before. I think that will only bring Rome to better places. So I see some good opportunities here.
Thanks. Oh, thank you.
Here, I'm also super excited. It is only 2 people, but I think we're gonna get good things. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Feisty, send us out, buddy. How you doing? What's going on with you? What are you feeling, Feisty? Talk to the chat.
What am I feeling?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna sabotage the game. No, I'm really excited to work on this, and hopefully, we can add in a lot of new content for abilities or weapons that people will enjoy. Because again, there's a lot of existing stuff that's already there, so it'd be cool to give it a chance to get it back in the game.
Nice. All right, Feisty. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say a big thank you for everybody coming out today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I've said it once, I'll say it again. This is it. This is the last Rodeo, guys. Let's make Realm last year's its best years it can possibly be, right? You guys have put up time and time again. We've carved out a small corner of the internet, right? And be kind to each other, right? Just at the end of the day, be kind to each other. We're all we have, you know what I mean? We're not out here playing the Call of Duties. We're not out here, games like Spellbreak and Rumbleverse. They've shut down. And I know from past experience, a lot of the people who BM and hack and whatever, they come back and they're like, man, I wish I wasn't such an asshole, right? So these are, you always wonder I wish I knew when the good times were. These are the good times, guys, because they don't last forever. They really don't, guys. One of these days we're gonna be moving on, right? So let's take the next couple months. Let's appreciate what we do have. Let's try to get some good stuff out there. Let's work together. I know it sounds kiddie and all that kind of stuff, but truly, guys, I've been doing this a long time, and I truly love you guys. You guys are great. So having said that, Jakin, I love you. Great, Jakin. God damn it. It's been a good time. Every Thursday, guys, we will be live either on the Realm Royal channel or here. So make sure you keep it tuned in here. Guys, it's been a privilege. It's been a pleasure. And what do I always say, guys? It's nice to be important. It's more important to be nice. God bless you. Good night. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Feisty, Pop Schlock, Shiz. Get out of here. We'll see you guys soon. We actually going to test out spectator mode right now. So love you guys. We'll see you next time. And I love you. See you guys.